Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode, and in this one we're gonna talk about flexibility. So as you might have noticed, last week I didn't upload a new vlog. Actually, it's been 2 weeks, and the reason for this is partially to do with the topic, meaning flexibility. When I first started off, this is what happened. Good morning, Monday, start of the new vlog. And I have to say, I spent a while pondering yesterday evening about how I'm going to do this, because here in Belgium you don't see people walking around with a camera, and one of the things is also at work people are not used to being filmed, and of course there's stuff I cannot show you, and so it is much easier for me to show you like original videos talking about a topic and stuff, but inside work it's gonna be a bit more difficult. So we'll see how we're going to handle that. But now, let's get to work. So just parked the car, and the plan for today is we're gonna build a new product, a new feature inside our product by Thursday. So quite the challenge. And I still feel awkward walking around with the camera. It was already awkward when I was at home. It's even more awkward now, but we'll see what happens. So, got back home, ate dinner, went for a walk, and now it's time to fix the vlog I was supposed to do yesterday. So it's time for a little editing, getting the end screen because I didn't thought of that. So I'm going to add this one in today, and normally release the unboxing of all of my new gear. And then afterwards, it's time to take a nap, I guess. See you guys tomorrow. Tuesday morning, still at home, have to leave in a few to go to my client, where I'm gonna give a demo today of the previous sprint, and we're gonna have a Cypress training. And Cypress is a testing framework for JavaScript, so we're hoping to fully change the test of our front end to something more reliable than what we have now. I'm still filming this at home because I don't yet feel super comfortable doing it outside. I'm also still wondering how to do this. I mean, I cannot show you anything at my client, so it's like, it's weird. There's so much to talk about, so much to show you, but it's weird because you would see me just talking about it for like this and not seeing any video of what it is like, and so I'm not sure how to handle that yet. Food for thought. Anyway, I gotta run. So as you can see, I did not have the opportunity to film during my client's work, but I did manage to get in the video in the morning and one in the evening. But it doesn't hold a nice story, and it also gives a weird perspective because you see me in the car, you see me getting out of the car, you see me going back in the car, back home, and you don't actually see anything of the entire day. And because I do not want to make it a clip where you just go from one to the other without having actual context and not having a story, I decided to be flexible and change the entire vlog. And instead of doing the daily vlog thing where I film every day, I would do one video at the end of the week, like this one. And so this week's topic is flexibility, like I mentioned in the intro, and I think it holds up against what I just told you, but also what happened at the client's office. So being a developer, being a freelancer is all about being a little bit flexible. And the reason for that is we have to be able to change really quickly depending on what the client wants. For instance, one of our clients' end clients, so one of the end users, actually wanted a different feature than what we provided in the past. And they only had a few days left before their show, because I work for an event manager now. They only had a few days before the show went live, so we had a very tight deadline. Now, of course, what the user wanted was a whole lot of whistles and bells. And so we decided to be lean. And the flexibility not only came from our team, because we had to be much faster in what we do, so we had to get rid of stuff like, and please don't ever do this, I don't try to do this often, but we skipped some tests and we wrote them after we went live. We did our basic tests, we did our basic functionality, went live with the feature, and then started building extra stuff. For example, the show visitors, or the show exhibitors actually in this case, were able to use all of the functionality, but the admin side, so our client who will then see the results, would not be able to use their feature yet. We released that a few days after they already went live with the feature. And this makes for an interesting feature, because you have something that goes live and our end clients can use it, but they cannot see the progress in it. But so the flexibility does not only come from us, it also comes from the client and our product owner, because he was tasked, of course, with having our team build this feature. And we had these really good grooming sessions, because we work mostly in a Scrum method. We had this nice grooming session, so we were like, okay, this is what the user wants, but how can we make it easier for us to release it on time without affecting the full-on experience of the feature? Meaning, how is it still viable for the end client, but not in all of the components they wanted? For example, a user can upload a product and they can select it as what the feature wanted, but they could not see what the user had accepted, which is fine if you go live, because it's mostly their end clients who need to be able to select that in the first few days. And that's the reason why we did it. And then afterwards we took some time, we were flexible with our roadmap. So we kind of changed it a little bit, took out some extra time just to write the extra test we missed and to add all of the missing functionality that we did not do in the first release. And basically what we did was work very lean, but also very flexible. And I hope you have a good idea about the flexibility part of it. And that is just one way to be flexible. And I think as developers, freelancers, even product owners, like we had in our case, should be very flexible in what they do. There needs to be room to negotiate what happens and what we do with all of this, all of these requests. Of course, afterwards we had a retrospective. We looked at what went well, what went wrong, and you have then the basic things where it's nice that we released something very fast, but we didn't like the fact that we didn't have real tests. We had some basic functionality tests, like do the API endpoints work and do they return what we expect? Great, but no real functional tests on the front end, which is a separate Vue.js application. And so there's always the risk of someone having an issue. And that is actually where the second part of the flexibility also comes in, because the next day we released on a Wednesday. So the next day on Thursday, I woke up a little bit earlier, went online, saw that our product owner had tested some of the features when it went live. And we saw there were some small bugs, because we work in different branches. So we have one feature branch and then all of the branches go from there. And when we actually merged everything and then released it online, it apparently missed a data migration. And so what I did was really quickly whip up a new data migration to fix the issue with the database, release it, fix some other small stuff like functionality not being visible and items like that. Just quickly fixing it that our test missed because we went so fast. And actually half an hour later, even before most of the end users were already awake, everything was already tested, fixed, and you know, the great thing about that is we also realized that, hey, we need to have an extra check for something that actually never had happened before, but can always happen, which is when a migration goes live, it might be that we still miss a piece of the migration. And an entity got changed or a data model got changed and there was no appropriate doctrine migration for it. And so we built an extra check into our pipelines. So we made sure that if we ever have to go that fast again, this issue will not happen anymore, because the first thing our pipeline will say is, hey, you're missing a data migration, you're not going to be able to deploy. So that's a bit about the flexibility as a developer, product owner, and stuff like that. I hope you got some value out of it. I'm really interested in how you could be more flexible at your job. Let me know in the comments and let's discuss more about flexibility. See you in the next one. Bye.